Hey guys, it is Jay, and I'm back for another Ninjago video. If you guys had noticed, I did change my channel name to HypnoBricks. I'm not trying to take anything from Spitbricks. He's an amazing YouTuber for Ninjago and just other Lego products, and I hope I can live up to what he's done one day. So, without further ado, let's get into the video. Of course, I did say it's another tier maker video, so it will be all the same characters as my last video, but the categories are going to be based on how powerful they are. The first category is immortal, powerful, strong, then survivor, weak, and then useless. So we can pretty base off these characters how that's going to work. So let's start. Kai, I think, will go in the powerful category, as well as the other ninja besides Lloyd. And the reason why is Kai can set things on fire, Zane can make you die of the cold and freeze you in an ice block, Jay can electrocute you, Cole can bury you under a mountain, as well as throwing dirt in your eye. Nia can just pretty much drown you and push you away with water. So pretty powerful characters, just straight up right there. Lloyd's going to be going in the immortal category because, you know, he's the grandson of the first Ninjutsu master. He's been able to harness golden power and been able to do a lot. And energy is also a very powerful power, like including all of the other elements of the main ninja. So Lloyd's in the immortal category. Wu will be going there too. We do know he is the son of the first Ninjutsu master and has the power of creation. So Wu will be going in the immortal category. Now Garmadon automatically gets immortal just because he is the son of the first Ninjutsu master, and we've seen him like bolt out all his power. He does get fueled with a fight, so Garmadon will be going in the immortal category. Misako will be going in the strong. She does have spin jitsu and she does know how to fight. Of course, she is also an archaeologist, so I would hope she would know how to get out of some situations. Ronin, same place as Misako. Ronin's a pretty good character. We do know he doesn't have an element, but he is really good with weapons, so he's a pretty strong character. I'm going to be putting Skylar in the immortal category. She does have the power of Amber, so that will absorb every other character's powers who has element. So she'll be able to harness that. Dareth, I'm going to be putting in the weak category. We do know he is not that great of a fighter. Of course, he knows some animal noises, but not that much, and Brown Power kind of weakened him even more with that, so Dareth's going to be going in the weak. Sorry, Dareth. Faith. I think Faith is going to be going in the strong category. She does know how to use that grappling hook very well, and she also has lived in the Oni and Dragon realm, so that takes some guts. Mistake, I'm going to be putting in Immortal. She is an Oni and can shapeshift, so I think that automatically makes her an immortal character. Clutch Powers, I'm going to be putting in Survivor. I guess he can't, like, fist-to-fist fight, and he doesn't have an element either, but since he is an explorer, he does have a little bit of experience in dangerous situations, so he'll be going in the Survivor category. I'm going to be putting Akita in the... I'll put her in the strong category. Since turning into a wolf isn't basically an element, and it doesn't, like, basically burn things down or create mountains, but Akita can turn into a wolf, and wolves are pretty strong, so I'll put Akita in the strong category. I'll put Cyrus Borg in the survivor category. We do know he rides around in a wheelchair, not to sound offensive, but he does ride around in a wheelchair, which kind of does impair him, but he can build things, so I guess that kind of helps him if he needed to build something to get away, so Cyrus Borg will be going in the survivor. Pixel's another strong character. Of course, she does build some mechs for the ninja, and she also can fight pretty well. She's also Samurai X, so Pixel's a pretty strong character. Echo Zane, I'm going to be putting Echo Zane in the weak category. We do know he can fight a little bit, but he is kind of fragile, and he does, you know, fall apart sometimes, so Echo Zane will be going in the weak category. Dr. Julian will be going in the survivor category. He did build both Zanes, so I think Dr. Julian is a I think he could survive by himself, so Dr. Julian is a survivor. Let's see, Scott. I think I'm going to be putting Scott in the survivor category, just because he has survived so long in Prime Empire. And I would put him in the strong category, but I don't think he fist fights that much. Of course, he is a video game person, so that's how he is. He does know how to use guns, but who doesn't? So Scott will be going in the survivor category. Now Okino will be going in the strong category. We do know he knows how to use swords, and he has lasted in Prime Empire for a very long time as an NPC and has not been destroyed. Of course, he is an NPC, so I guess he really can't be killed. But Okino does know how to use swords, so I think he's a strong character. Captain Soto is a survivor. Of course, you have to know how to survive to be a pirate, so I think Captain Soto is a pretty good... No, I'll put Captain Soto in the strong just because he did trap Nauticon, which was pretty amazing because we do know Nauticon is a very powerful character, so Captain Soto will be going in strong. Griffin Turner, I'll be putting Griffin Turner in strong too. I don't think his element is as powerful as fire or ice, but he does have a very strong element, so he'll be going in strong. I'm gonna be putting the police commissioner in weak. This isn't because I don't like him. It's just mainly because he is kind of useless sometimes. He's not completely useless, but he doesn't really know how to fight. He's a little bit old. I guess he knows how to paint a ship, but that doesn't get you much places. So I guess he'll be going in the weak category. Karloff, same place as Turner. I feel like their elements are very alike, so I'll be putting him in the strong category right next to Turner. I'll be putting Gravis in the survivor category. Of course, we do know Gravis has the power of gravity, but it's not like the strongest element out there. Well, I guess he can fly, so I'll put him in the strong category, and I would love to fly, so I think Gravis is actually a pretty strong character. Now, Tox, I'll be putting in the survivor category, definitely. Tox, she does have the power of poison, but that isn't the greatest power out there, so she'll be going to survivor. Lobo 2, they're they're great elements to control, but they're just not the strongest out there. Now Ash will be going in the strong category because Ash's power, you can't land a finger on them, and that was very effective in the tournament of elements, so Ash will be going in the strong category. I'll be putting Jacob in survivor as well. We do know he is kind of blind. Again, not to sound offensive, but that does kind of hinder him a little bit. But sound is a nice power, but Camille will be going in the survivor category as well. Form, I just think form can only get you so far. It's a nice element in like a master of disguise, but it can really only get you so far since it's not a physical element like fire or ice. It can't really destroy people. It can only decept them. So, survivor. I'm going to be putting Shade in the strong category as well. I think Shade, like, I used to not understand what Shadow was. Now I kind of do, so I guess that can be used, like, to sneak around and stuff, so, strong. Now I'm going to be putting Nero in the powerful category. Nero can give people headaches and just, and it can just hurt. He can also read people's minds, so that is a huge advantage. So Nero is a really powerful character. I'm going to be putting Mr. Pale in... I'll put Mr. Pale in... I'll put him in Survivor. Of course, you can turn invisible, but like form, that can only get you so far. Of course, it's not a physical element, but that can be used to your ability. So I think Mr. Pale is... I think he'll be able to survive. Same thing with Ed. I feel like since he is another builder, he could be able to build something maybe to get himself out of a bad situation, but then again, he is kind of old and deteriorating, so Ed will be going in the survivor category. Edna will be going in the weak category. She is like Ed in her older ages, but she doesn't she's not a builder that much. Of course, she does have her little quilting circle, but Edna is not that strong. I think I'm going to be putting Lou in the same thing as Edna. I'm not calling these characters, weak at all. I'm just, compared to some other characters, they're not the strongest. We do know Lou can dance, but his leg, he kind of does have a limp a little bit, so, I'm going to be putting both Ray and Maya in the strong category. Of course, they do not have their powers anymore because they did have to pass that on to Kai and Nia as their children, but they can fight very well, and they have been able to. We've seen so they're pretty strong characters. I'll put Nelson in the weak category. We do know he is a child or a teen, and since he does break a lot of bones a lot, he can be put in the weak situation. Of course, he does ride around on a bike, but he's just kind of a kid. So, Pythor, powerful character. He is the last remaining Anacondrae, and they do have the power to cloak themselves. So, I think Pythor is a really powerful character. Next up, we got Scales. I'm going to be putting all the Serpentine generals in the strong category. We do know they all have their unique powers. Scales can memorize, Phantom can bite and turn you into a snake, Scalador can grip you like a boa and dig underground, and Acidicus can spit on you and make you hallucinate. So that that pretty much says a lot about them, and I think they're very strong characters. So that's where they'll go. Kozu, same place. He is in the strong category. He is an indestructible warrior, so let's see. As much as I hate the Overlord, I have to admit that he is an immortal character. I may hate him and hate his face, but I'll put him in the immortal category for now because he does have the power to become the Golden Master, and he also can never be destroyed. He can only be defeated, and he's probably still out there trying to get revenge. So Overlord will go in the immortal category. Not Kozu, Cryptor. I'll be putting Cryptor with Kozu. Like I said, they're pretty much twins, so except one's a robot, one's an indestructible warrior, so I'm going to be putting Mindroid. I'll put Mindroid just in the weak category. One, he is kind of short, and he can't be used that well. Of course, he does have that little shooting thing on his right eye, but can't be used that much. Now, let's see. Chen will be put in the. I'll put Chen in the strong category. He doesn't know that much about fighting, but he does know how to manipulate people and control an entire island. He also does know how to get over there, and he does know how to get his way. So I'm going to be putting Chen in the strong category. I'm going to be putting Klaus in the powerful category because we do know Klaus has the power of magic, which can control objects, shoot a little purple flame at someone, so I think Klaus is a powerful character. I'll be putting Chop in Kapow. I'll put them in Survivor. We do know Chop and Kapow are one of Chen's minions, but they're not that great of fighters, and Maro I'm going to be putting in the powerful category up here. He does control the power of wind, so that is a huge advantage, creating tornadoes and blowing over objects, so that's where it'll go. Soul Archer is strong. Bansha is strong. They're both strong Ghost. Wraith, I would say, is strong too. Now Goltar's kind of weak because he is kind of like goofy kind of and silly, so that kind of can be his downfall a little bit. Nauticon, I'm going to be putting up there in Immortal because he is a Jinn, so he can poof anywhere, and especially when he gets infinite wishes, he's an impossible character to beat, so Nauticon will be going in the Immortal category. Next up, we got Flintlock. Flintlock's a pretty strong character. I'll put him in Survivor just because he's not the strongest character. Of course, he can shoot, but he's not that great fist-to-fist fighting, so I think he'll be going in the Survivor category. Clancy, same thing. I don't think Clancy's exactly weak, but he is pretty good with the broom, I guess, so I think he'll be going in Survivor. I think Dogshank is a strong character. Of course, she is like a big stature and big bulk, so, that's going to hurt if she hits you. Doubloon, same thing. Doubloon's a pretty good fighter as well, and he also knows Spinjitzu, so that kind of helps him a little bit, so I think Doubloon is a pretty strong character. Now let's see. I'm going to be putting Crux. Let's see. I'll be putting Crux in Acronyx. I thought about putting them in Immortal, but I think they're just pretty powerful characters. Of course, they did control the essence of time at one point. They don't do it anymore, so that's why they're going in the powerful category. But if they did still control their element of time within them, they would be pretty much immortal characters. But if they have the time blades, they are pretty powerful characters. Now, Commander Makia up there because they are because or not they she is a pretty powerful character. Not powerful, of course. She doesn't have an element, but if you do hit her, she will just recombine with all her snakes inside of her. So she's a pretty strong character. Ragmonk and Bluck, I'll be putting in the survivor category. Again, like Goltar, they are kind of silly, so that's a little bit of their downfall, and they kind of lose track of what's important sometimes. So Bluck and Ragmonk will be going in the survivor category. Harumi will be going in the strong category. Sorry. Harumi will be going in the strong category because she does know how to fight, but again, she does not have an element, but she does know how to get her things, so I think she's a pretty strong character. Kilo, same thing with Dogshank. Here, I'll put you right next to her. They're pretty much the same character to me, except one's in the Sons of Garmadon, one's in Nauticons crew. They're big, bulky, so if they hit you, that is gonna pretty much hurt. Ultraviolet, I'll put Ultraviolet in the survivor category. She doesn't have any distinction. She can fight a little bit, but she doesn't have an element or she doesn't have an advantage to her, so I'll put her in the survivor. Fugidub, useless. Fugidub is straight up useless. He cannot fight that much. He kind of just goes around in a costume, which is slightly weird in that weird episodes of season 11. That was weird. So Fugidub will be going in the useless category. The mechanic will be going in the I'll put him in survivor. I don't think he's the strongest fighter out there, but again, he can build things, so I guess that will help him get somewhere. Mr. E is going to be going in the strong category. He is a robot, so he does know how to fight, you know. In that fight with Zane, that was pretty powerful, so that was cool. Next up, we got Iron Baron. I'll put Iron Baron in the survivor category. As much as I don't like Iron Baron, I think he'll be able to survive somewhere like he did in the Oni and Dragon Realm, and he did take over like the realm of all his people. So Iron Baron is in the survivor. Let's see. I'm gonna be putting the Omega, again, another character I'm not a huge fan of, but he's an Oni. I feel like they're immortal characters and very hard to defeat, especially the leader of them. So, you know. Asphira, I'm going to be putting in the powerful category. Now, this is just because at one point, she did control Kai's element of fire, so, you know, all the Power Vipers now have the element of fire within them. She also knows magic, and she was going to become a sorceress while she was young before she was trapped. So, and she still knows sorcery, so Asphira is in the powerful category. Now, I'm going to be putting Char in the survivor category. Char is a serpentine, so I think he might be able to find his way around. You know, of course he is a little goofy like Gultar and Blunk and Ragmonk, but, you know, I feel like he'd be able to at least stay alive. Unagami. I don't think Unagami kind of has like his own. I'm actually going to be putting him in powerful just because I just remembered that he can like form into a dragon, and he kind of can form, considering he is an arcade game character. I think he's pretty powerful because he can form into a dragon while forming into other people, so I think that's actually pretty powerful. Vex is strong. No element within him, but he did kind of take over and manipulate Zane, so pretty strong character. Kataru, see, I'll put you right next to Akita if I can, because you guys are pretty much the same. You can just turn into a bear, so, you know, same reasons. Master Yang, he's another strong villain. Not one of my favorite villains, but, you know, he did, like, change all his students into ghosts. He also did, I guess, kind of find a way to make something live forever, so, yeah. Craig, survivor. Of course, we do know he survived besides all of his family members, and I guess that kind of made him sad, but, you know. Craig will be going in the survivor category. Let's see. Samukai. Samukai is a very strong character. A lot of characters going to the strong category, but Samukai is a strong character and a good start to a villain. He did try to take over Lord Garmadon, at the end of the pilot season, but that didn't work out so well for him. So Samukai, we probably will not be able to see you ever again. Cruncha and Knuckle, I'll put them in the Survivor category because they have survived for like probably a very, very long time. Who knows how long? So Crunch and Knuckle will be going in Survivor. Same thing. I'll be putting Racer 7 in Survivor just because, she can't really fight, but she has existed in Prime Empire, I guess. So, you know. Vanya, I think I'm going to be putting Vanya in Strong. She did learn how to fight and get herself out of situations while the ninja were there, which is kind of cool. She's also a princess, so she has her like entire kingdom at her command. So, I think Vanya's a pretty strong character. I'll be putting I'll be putting what's her name? Skull Sorcerer. I'll be putting the Skull Sorcerer right next to Vanya. Of course, he doesn't have an element, which kind of downgrades him a little bit, but he can fly, so. And he did take over the Months and the Gecko, so. Yep, pretty strong character. I'll be putting King Vangelis in the Survivor category. I pretty much just think King Vangelis, of course, we do know he is the Skull Sorcerer in the end, but King Vangelis, not the most powerful character, just the weaker version of the Skull Sorcerer. So Plundar, um, I'll actually put Fungus in the strong category. The reason I put Plunder and Korgron in the Survivor category, I guess they can fight a little bit and they could survive on their own. Korgron does have the axe, but not that much. But Fungus is being put in the strong category because he does know magic, and that can be a huge help. He doesn't know how to fight that much, but magic. Lily, I'm going to be putting Lily in the same place as Ray and Maya. She was the last elemental master of Earth before she passed it on to Cole. She did come down with that sickness, very unfortunate, but Lily will be going in the strong category. She was also a very powerful fighter. We do know that she did have the Blaze of Deliverance at one point, so Lily will be going in the strong category. And then we have the Falcon. I feel like the Falcon is I really don't have much to say, but I feel like he is a survivor category, in the survivor category. He is a mechanical bird that flies around, no real power, I guess. He can't like breathe fire or anything or pick things up and throw them very far, but so that's pretty much where all the characters will go in these categories. We are already done. So we have the immortal category for those characters that are really powerful and you pretty much be dead end up fighting them. The powerful category are for those characters that are really powerful and will probably do a lot of damage. The strong characters are those that can stand up for themselves and pretty much pack a punch. The survivors are those characters that they could survive in dangerous situations. Weak are those characters that pretty much can't get anywhere that far and useless, or just no. You can't do much, buddy. Anyway, that is pretty much that'll wrap up for the video. Again, my new name is HypnoBricks, not trying to take anything from SpitBricks, amazing YouTuber, but that'll pretty much how I'll really just end off this video. I really enjoyed doing this, so like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys